Okay, and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Panzer Corps 2 in the main campaign. We just had the briefing in the previous part for the second mission. We have our first hero here, which is Reinhold Lange, who's an artillery support specialist. Right support fire adjacent friendly units attacked by the enemy's unarmored units with soft target type. Okay. You notice in the last one we had a little bit of surplus core slots. Again, that's because the tanks cost 25% less in the previous mission. I think we're going to keep the bombers as is. I might swap the Sturmpanzer out. For a different type of artillery piece. I tend to be less of a fan of the self-propelled artillery piece. Might go for the 21 centimeter. Yeah, of course, with the carriage. So it's a more expensive gun, so we're going to be paying the increase in cost. Takes up more core slots. With the transport, it has fuel. I think the transport is fuel. Oh no, the self-propelled, the motorized version has fuel. Ammo goes from 3 to 5. Soft attack goes up. Hard attack goes up. Notably, the hard attack goes up. Naval attack goes up. Without transport, it moves less. Has more range. Has less initiative. Has less ground defense. So it's a little bit more vulnerable to air and ground. Has less inherent reconnaissance. But we're going to do that upgrade. Hang on you. We're going to probably upgrade the tanks. And then, can I get a new, completely brand new unit? I'll use that button to do the repair on everything. Should be able to get new units. Again, it's been a while since I've played the game here. And here, there's the purchase unit screen. So in this map, we're going to want a couple of the Bruken Pioneer. I might keep an out and just pick up the Bruken Pioneer without transport this map. Because where I want them, I don't necessarily need them to be moving particularly fast. Right now, I think our best tank is the Panzer 38T. We don't necessarily have any limits on it, so we might just upgrade everything to the 38T. Same sort of thing, armored car. We'd probably upgrade everything to this type of armored car, because I think that's the best one that is available at the moment for what we want. One thing I'm going to grab right now is I'm going to grab a anti-tank gun. Or I'm going to grab an AA gun, which I suppose is also going to serve as an anti-tank gun, which is the 88mm flak. We're going to get one of these. Yes, unless we wanted specifically a reconnaissance plane. I think we've got the planes for the moment. See if there's any upgrades I want to do. Memory serves, I took the thing where I'm limited on the number of upgrades. So I probably won't be able to upgrade everything, but the thing is I'm going to prioritize. We did that artillery piece, which will be useful when it comes into firing. I think we're going to upgrade the tanks. Unless we've got an upgrade on the armored car. We do have an upgrade on the armored car. I'll upgrade the armored car in one of the tanks. Yeah, we have a limited 3 because of the drawbacks I took this mission. And then we got 4 more space. I might actually grab 1 more Broken Pioneer. Yeah, this one a little bit of transport. And another... Oh, can't afford another Pioneer. Could grab some Cav. We'll grab a Grenadier with transport. Okay, let's start getting these guys deployed. So the one with transport we're going to put over in the right. This is going to be so we can come up sort of around and behind, because the one that's providing the supply that we can't encircle is the one in the back. Whereas we're going to circle the rest in and squish the rest. And then the Broken Pioneer we're going to put there and there. Oh, can I upgrade you with transport? Is that not forbidden? That is not forbidden yet. Let's get the regular infantry upgrade to the transport. And then I suppose I can check. I can probably upgrade the transport on you. Yeah. And then there was only... You had to, because it's a bigger gun, it has to take the bigger transport. Fair enough. And then there was only one in the 88 as well. Yeah. Okay, there's no real entrenchments over here, so we're going to put the Pioneer on the right with the Grenadier, which is the better open area trooper. The other infantry... Let's actually deploy you. We deploy you there. So, the Broken Pioneer are going to quickly hop on the river here and allow our tanks to roll around behind. There's going to be a unit, I think, technically on that hex to attack those areas real quick. Okay, let's roll out with this deployment. This might not be the ideal deployment, but I think it'll work. And deployment. Yes, we are sure. So yeah, as you can see, there's the infantry there. So quickly pull you onto the river here. Allow our tanks to move across. Reasonably no penalty. Or should. Access bridge when positioned on the river. Of course, we have it on the swamp, which is maybe not the best place for them to be. Expecting for slightly more aggressive advance across the river here. Split you up, put half of you there to encircle there. Another half of you there to encircle there. dive from the vehicle. Okay, worked out where one of the enemy bombers was. I think that's the swamp here being the issue. Miscalculated when evaluating whether to go with the swamp or not. Okay, I think that should be reasonably okay for the first turn. Dive bomber's getting shot up a bit. Now, the Bridge Pioneer are not particularly great at fighting. But one of the things we might want to do is simply encircle people. They do make good body blockers for that sort of purposes. Okay, a little bit of raining. It's raining, aircraft won't be able to move or attack. Is fine for me, because we got our aircraft pretty badly shot at. They're on our airfield. Okay. Okay, that should get them to surrender. Okay. Oh, it's a tank gun. Okay, so they're all encircled. I'll give them all pretty hefty debuffs. I heal you and you. A little worried about what that end tank will get up to. Anyway, that's everything. So let's cycle the turn. We got slightly better weather. Oop. That's not broken. Well, we lost out half of the broken pioneer. And get ourselves encircled. That's not super great. Maybe suffering a little bit from a little bit too much greed there. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I can shoot the rest up in there. Spawn points. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Probably actually want to do that the other way around, if I want to do that. In fact, actually, let's do that the other way around. Ah, it was dismount the other way around. Okay. Oh, it didn't dismount the other way around either. Happen to be doing enough of suppression, enough damage that it's actually not just destroying units, which is not exactly what I'm trying to do there. It's just what's happening. Okay, that's not optimal, but that is what it is. Okay, I probably would have hit this one hard enough to drive it back. Which we'll do in this case, we'll at least take the bridge. Okay. Definitely in my haste to be aggressive here for the stream, I am not doing the smartest of plays. Oops. Forgot I probably wanted to kill that guy. Not gonna be able to get him encircled again with my movement went up like that. Okay. Mistakes were made. Mistakes are being made all over the place here. Let's be fair. Oh, I needed to actually do 2 damage. Should do enough. There we go. Okay. Do I still have my dive bomber left? Yeah. Let's have you dive bomb the tank hat. Okay, it's got no action point, so I can't move it. In theory, it can move, but it can't move. Because it's got no movement left. That's not what I meant to do. I'm gonna find my no reload, so I should be careful about that. Okay, we're gonna cycle the turn. Hopefully I can actually capture some of the forces I've got encircled and does not have them encircled. Getting absolutely riggedy wrecked because we're in a swamp. Fair enough. It weirdly might be better off actually starting the run over at this point, because I have been making lots of casual and not particularly smart choices. Probably should have actually moved both those over there to get the group attack bonus. Whoops. Can you retreat onto that river? Hopefully not. Oh, of course I'm not getting any hits here. And of course I can retreat onto the river. Darn. You're too far away to die. No, I could dive bomb you. It's probably not worth dive bombing, but we're gonna dive bomb. Okay, those guys are completely suppressed. You're completely suppressed. Try to suppress you. Now, there's a reason why I did that. It's because I need this guy encircled, otherwise he's going to delete our Pioneer on the next turn. And I prefer to keep the Pioneer. Okay. This has been a very messy affair, but otherwise things are going okay. We haven't lost any of our units yet, although maybe a little close with that armored car. Although I've got 2 halves the armored car. It's one of the advantages of having the split perk and splitting the guys up is if you lose half the unit, you haven't lost the unit. There we go. Slowly trying to work through the encirclements on these to get moving again. Well, in some ways we are getting moving. It's just maybe not the best of situations for our units. Artillery duel. I think I got the mic muted before I started coughing there. Combat arm to come in carpet bomb. Okay, the dive bomber. Is gonna have to hit these infantry, or we're gonna have to rebase it. Let's do the rebasing because I'd probably rather hit tanks. Definitely could make an argument. You could argue that it's still not going super well, but things are working. We got rid of the artillery. We can get rid of that engineer there, and then we can start moving everything on the last city here. Oop, that's a problem. So that's the first unit we lost the entire campaign. It's going to be a bit of a bloody affair. A little bit more worried about that one, so I'm going to dive bomb that one. We'll strafe that one. One's a tank out, the other one's a proper light tank. Okay. I suppose I could repurchase the Grenadier we lost for deployment. Let's cycle the turn there. They're trying to break out of the encirclements. Yeah, that one can technically drive out of it, but there's driving out of it and there's driving far enough out of it to escape. And those are two different things. Now, in this case, I know they can't get into the major river. So I do have them properly trapped in this case. Really? Although maybe getting them to surrender will be a slightly different problem. Let's move over to this one, because this one's the more important one to clear this turn. Carpet bomb. Here we go. That awkward moment when you just need one more unit somewhere at a proper encirclement. Honestly, I'm probably just better off destroying one of the tanks with the dive bombers. Oh, and the tank survives, because of course it does. Okay. Okay, this time it's going to go with the dive bomber. Need to relocate you. Probably want to reload it. Oh, actually, we could relocate it to that airfield. That will work. Or... Oh, it's got a particular... Really get the fighters to that one. I can't defend the dive bomber because it's not a paved airfield. It's that type of airfield. Okay. There we go. Nice set of surrenders back to back there. Let's take the turn. Then encirclement should disable most of the guys who can put up a pretty well-spirited defense. Okay. Can't put you in there. Could deploy you there. So we'll do you there. Okay, next turn, I think I can go somewhere, make a surround that it won't be able to escape out of, at least. Let's embark you, and then we can deploy you. Oh, I think I have to unload at a train station. And we haven't captured the train station there yet, so I can only go about this far. Oh, that probably has saved it a little bit of time. Moving around. And then we've got a couple fighters. And yeah, we're at the point where we're gonna get shot up by the AA in the back. If we strike over there. Okay. Okay, don't look at getting rid of the bunker yet. Although we'll definitely complete the mission within the 20 turns at this point. No, that was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to select that unit to do the shoot. Oops, I meant to send the artillery there, not the plane. Okay, pass the turn. The encircle people will take their readiness hits. Okay. Let's even get rid of this AA gun. Here we go. Can they do enough damage to get this guy to actually surrender? Not this turn. Probably next turn. It's probably worth waiting one turn just to get that guy to surrender. Or is he not going to surrender because that's a supply point? Okay. We're doing this the hard way. Here we go. That's the second mission. I made it far harder than it needed to be. I think we're still capturing enough that we're still gaining prestige. Although, if I didn't have the advanced options on, right, I didn't have the perks on that I did. We probably wouldn't be with how I'm playing. If you're watching on YouTube, there'll be another part up tomorrow, assuming by the next stream I have not decided I want to start over again. Or start a different game, because this is... It's working. We're not completely failing. But I may end up deciding that I need to, if I want to play it the whole way through, then I might want to start over again and be a little less bad. We got the choice between Norway South and Norway North. With how things are going, I'm going to go do North South. And we're going to get the intro to this mission first, and then we'll put the save in. Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, Unless I decide to start over, which case tomorrow's episode will be the beginning of starting over. If you're watching YouTube, there'll be another episode of this up tomorrow. And even if I do decide to start over, there'll probably be another episode of this up tomorrow. Recorded far enough ahead that technically I think this will be the part coming up Boxing Day, the day after Christmas.
High Command has given the go-ahead for Operation Weserübung, and I want you to take a leading part in this Norwegian excursion. Your main target is the capture of Oslo, and heavy cruiser Blücher has been assigned to escort your landing parties to the capital. Simultaneously, you will need to secure major ports along the coast from here to here. Keeping them under our control will go a long way to keeping the British and French out of Norway, and thus preserving our enforcement of Norwegian neutrality. To aid you, we've mobilized additional Fallschirmjägers, quite useful for fighting in the mountainous terrain. Infantry will be far more useful than your panzers in this battle. So, I recommend you temporarily put your tanks into reserve for this battle. Now,
for some reason, the terrain in Norway is not conducive to tank usage.
Light on specifics. If you ask me, the plan looks like it was originally some kind of vacation trip. Even so, it's your responsibility to get the job done now. I have every confidence in your abilities.
Yeah, this is a interesting mission, let's say. Yeah. Comment results can never be less than prediction. Okay. So we'll put this away for the moment. We're not going to care about the target units. So at this point in the campaign, we're doing the invasion of Norway. So your choice between north and south is, do you want to be expediting southern Norway and northern Norway? Sort of role-playing wise, right? The one you don't pick, the other person gets, right? As far as the journals do. And whatever journal you aren't does succeed. So Norway does get captured historically. And then, of course, the objectives here are you got to get the 4 main ports. Oslo, I believe, is technically the Norwegian capital. And then there's a couple mobilization points behind that need to capture to win the battle. Is that the Norwegian supply? I think we need the ones with the hexes on it. Yeah, hexes. And then those are places the Norwegians get supply from, even if you cut them off from the edge of the map. So, for example, we're not going to be able to encircle Oslo. We are just going to have to shoot out whoever's in it. Although we may be able to get them to surrender, even if they're in supply. There's ways to attrit them down to make that happen. I think the problem I was running into at the end of the mission we were just doing was to get someone to surrender, you got to get their entrenchment down to 4 if they're in a city, or 0 if they're outside the city. And I hadn't bombarded it with units yet, so it had no morale, but it was happily sitting in its bunker. So yeah, for this mission, upcoming, you have to take Berg, Stavanger, Kursand, Oslo, Littlehammer here. We do get a few sort of ships that we really don't need to care about. The ships don't need to survive the mission. That's one of the nice things about this mission is we don't care about our ships. And then it pre-gives us a couple Fallschirmjäger, one in the air, one on the ground, which can do paradrops for you. And then the rest you have to recruit yourself, or if you want more Fallschirmjäger, or if you want mountain troops, for example, you got to recruit those yourself. Given the fact that there are no major rivers that we want to cross, we probably want to replace, say, the Bruken Pioneer that we had in the last one, probably with mountain troops, because they fight better in the hills and the mountains, obviously. And then this is Norway. There are a couple forts here, including the 21st fort here, which historically would send the Blücher to the bottom. The Blücher made a serious mistake, thinking, that obsolete Norwegian port, not going to be a problem. Was a problem, went to the bottom. But yeah, this is we're going to save here. In fact, I will go ahead and put a save in here. So this is stream, yeah, that one, stream. Save 1. So if I do decide that I have not completely screwed it up, we'll pick up here next time. If I've decided we're doing really terribly, I may decide to start over. We'll do different missions. We'll do Poland North instead of Poland South if I do start over, and try to screw it up less. Let's say. We'll probably run the same perks. I'll just change option-wise. I can turn that one of the choices in here. Can't even remember where everything is. Might not actually be able to change it in. Let me go back to the main menu. One of the options you can change is to have a custom start on the first map. I suppose the question is, where is that option? I know it's an option. Advanced options in here. And then these are the special challenges. So if you want me to play the special challenge, feel free to let me know, whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube. Obviously, by the time you're watching this on Twitch, I will decide what we're doing for the next stream of this in 4 days. Likely have gone ahead and decided what we're doing. Oh yeah, there's the custom army battle here. So one of the things we might do is we might turn the custom army battle on. If I decide to start over, I'll turn the custom army battle on. We'll have custom army on the first couple missions, instead of having to redesign them the first one, or the second one. And then if we do that, we'll do Poland North instead of Poland South. But yeah, you're watching on YouTube, they'll be put up tomorrow. I've said that multiple times. If you're watching on Twitch, this is where the stream is going to come to an end. I'm going to leave the stream up for about a minute after I end the YouTube video, so you can respond to comments. And if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave comments. Feel free to tell me I'm not doing it right, because I know I'm not doing it right. It's been a while since I've played, and I'm out of practice, let's say. And in fact, to give you an idea of how long ago I've played, I don't think 1943 was out the last time I played. So all this DLC is new. I don't have it. So 1943 or 1942 is the last time I played. Not the year, but when the DLC came out for that. So yeah, if you've got suggestions on what you'd like to see as far as this game goes, and whether you want me to run with any of the challenges on, feel free to let me know, whether it's in the Twitch comments or the YouTube comments. And with that, I'm going to give you all the best of luck and a good time until the next time. With that, bye for now.